the rest of the hour to study for your quiz on for Tuesday. So now that you've completed this study, provide a biblical explanation to each existential question to help put together the box top. So the question of origin is, where did we come from? So this is, or more grammatically, from where did we come? And this is going way back to the beginning, right? So what is the answer to that? Yes. Yeah, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and everything else. So we are created human beings. We're not accidents. We are, and Scripture tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. So we aren't accidents. We aren't just physical beings. We are eternal beings. We will live on after death. And what is the answer to the identity question? Who are we? Yes. Yes. Since we are made in God's image, we have supreme one. We belong to God. Think of something or someone that belongs to you in the sense that they are yours. And I'm thinking of my husband, my children, my dog, and they have supreme worth to you, right? Why? Yeah.
All pride for the Lord. Like, because normally pride is like, oh, look at me, I'm so cool. But I feel like there's another way of saying that, and like, look at what I can do because of how God made me. Like that. Does that make sense? Is it just called pride still?
In God?
Yeah.
I would use the word amazed. That I'm amazed by what he said.
That or even like,
I thought that's where he was asking.
Well, we can be sure of who God is. Can be certain. Pride is just a problematic word because it does carry that
Negative.
negative. But since we're made in God's image, we have supreme worth to God. And our worth to God and our knowledge that, gentlemen, the knowledge that we are loved by God and been given certain rights and responsibilities should not only comfort us, but it should cause us to love God even more. We are creatures of supreme, even though we're, I don't even think we could compare ourselves, like the comparison is between us and something else. I don't think we can even use the because God is infinitely great. And there's infinite. And yet, we are but dust. That's what the Bible tells us. And yet, we have supreme to the God of the universe. And that's phenomenal. But we've also been given certain rights and responsibilities. So I don't know if this is your household, but if it is. So do your parents ever talk to you about, like, because you're in our household, then this is required of you. Do you have chores you're supposed to do? Do you have, yeah. So that's just part of it. But also, like when they take the family out to eat, they don't leave you behind, right? They take you with them, and they clothe you, and they give you a house, and they buy you stuff, right? So there's these rights that you have to be taken care of by your parents, right? But there are also responsibilities because you're part of that family. And the same is true with God, in a much bigger and more wonderful way. But it isn't just shower it on me, God, shower it on me, God. There are things that God calls us to do as well. He calls us to obey Him. He calls us to love others. He calls us to serve others. And so that has a good part to do with both our rights and our responsibilities. So the question of meaning. Why are we here? Yes. Yeah. We're here to glorify God. So, yeah.
And I'll say,
Yeah, that's part of it for sure. And that reminds me of the phrase that says to know God and to make Him known, right? That we exist to know God and to make Him known to others. So um, uh, we are fallen creatures, obviously, but we have this free will to choose who we're going to be, whether or not we're going to follow Christ. And so we are free to accept or to reject God. Everyone is. Everyone has that choice. And um, and so then if we choose to make that choice to love God, to accept salvation, then we become ambassadors for Christ. So what does an ambassador do? Go on behalf of someone that has sent them. What were you going to say? Yeah, an ambassador is one that represents someone or something else. So when our ambassadors go out to all the countries with which we have ambassadors, they are representing the United States to that country. And so we are representing Christ to other people, especially if they know. You are, whether they know or not, but especially if they know you're. And that's a heavy thing. That's a kind of a fearful thing. Of what picture of Christ are people getting from me? And when people ask me, what do you do? I'm a Bible teacher. Well, there's a big tell right there that I'm a follower of Christ. And so how I treat people and how I interact with people, especially matters. And the same is true for you. Most all of you are representing Cornerstone somewhere, somehow, whether through sports or quiz bowl or any number of things. And if you're representing Cornerstone, then you're representing Christ. So, how do our students play? I'll tell you that we played a team, I mean, but who I'm talking about, and it is a Christian school, and we had one of our players yank down the floor and this and there's a lot lot of cussing going on, and a lot, and that shows like, and they're playing us, right? And we're a Christian school too, but how do what sort of view of Christ is being shown? So we are ambassadors for Christ, and when people see us, they'll think they'll see our God, right? They'll think they see our God, and are we giving the right, the true of Christ? Now listen, Christians sometimes get a bad rap, and it's unfair because they're sinners too. Right? They don't name the name of Christ, but somehow we're held to a higher standard. And I don't know if that's completely fair, but we need to understand that that's the case, especially when we're around non-believers, that we're going to be held to a higher standard, fair or not. It's true. Yeah, so this is what I wrote down. We are fallen, but we have free will. We are free to accept or reject God. And if we accept, we are ambassadors of Christ. And we are to help others. And to be the hands and feet of Jesus to others. Okay, the question of morality. How should we live? Yes.
Kind of already said it.
And we should look differently because we're people set apart. Yes. God, what else? Love God, love others. Every person you meet is an image bearer of God, just as you are. Every person you meet is of supreme worth to God because He created. I love, and I've quoted this to you before, but what Augustine said: "Love God, and then do what you please, Meaning that if we love God, that will fundamentally change what we do and how we behave. It's not just. There was a story, it's a true story. Back in like the 20s and 30s, and there was this gangster that went to a crusade and came to Christ, and he kept on being a gangster. And when he was called on by the guy Christ, he said, God's got Christian primers, Christian teachings, why can't we be a Christian gangster? And so he didn't understand what that meant, right? Yeah, we are to love God and to love others and to make disciples as well. We're to care for those in need, and we're to include the unincluded, and we're to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And then finally, the question of destiny: where are we going? Yeah, we have a choice, right? We're either living with Jesus forever in heaven, or we're not, which is sobering, but it's true. So, it says review the section Your Destiny on pages 384 to 388, and write down some good pointers you can share, use when sharing with others about their purpose and meaning in life. If you're actually answer that question. I'd like you to look in that passage now and talk about it briefly. Did we read this part? You read it? I had you read it. So it seems to me like everybody's got it. Or at least most people do. So what did you put there then? Yes, you are. Did they say that? Because I haven't read this in a while. The thing that there's only two people in the end. What else? Everyone has a chooser. There's a guy named Dale that used to come to camp. Bible puppet stuff for little kids. And he said everyone over and over again, everyone has a chooser. You get to choose what you're going to do, who you're going to be. So choose wisely. What else? Yeah. You have a choice. But you have to deal with the evidence. That's the we've been talking about this year. Yeah, yeah. This idea of God sending people to help, people choose help, especially those who have heard the gospel. It is God sending. How can a loving God send people to help? Anything else?
Hell is not a place of use.
You ever gotten mad at someone else or something else for something you did? It wasn't anyone else's fault. Okay, so I'm going to see how much time we have left. You will have a goodly amount of time tomorrow because we're kind of done with this, to study for that quiz. Not